Hey everyone, this is Bill Krieger from the Veterans Archives podcast, where we preserve and share the incredible stories of our nation's heroes. Catch us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wreaths Across America Radio, or stream anytime on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Really, anywhere you choose to get your podcast, you should be able to find us. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on social media to help us reach more veterans and supporters. We are a nonprofit, and this service is completely free for veterans. Every story matters, and every voice deserves to be heard. Spread the word, honor our heroes, and join us on this mission. Follow, share, and tune in, because their story should never be forgotten. Learn more at veteransarchives.org. We'll see you there. Today is Monday, June 2nd, 2025. We're talking with Louis Tippit Jr., who served in the Seabees construction battalion in the United States Navy. So good afternoon, Louis.
Good afternoon.
It's great to see you today.
Thank you.
And we're going to start out simple. I know you've been doing a lot of interviews, so you're probably pretty good at this by now. But yeah, so when and where were you born, Louis?
Malden, Missouri, Duncan County.
Okay.
July 26, 1925.
All right. My grandfather was born in Kent, Missouri.
I'm sorry, May.
All right. Well,
1925.
I'm going to ask that question again then.
Okay.
All right. So we'll start out simple. When and where were you born, Louis?
Born in Malden, Missouri, May 26, 1925.
All right. So you are officially 100 years old right now.
One Monday, this past week ago today.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. My grandfather was actually born in Kennett, Missouri.
Oh, that's just a hop and jump away.
Yeah, it's up by the Arkansas border, I think.
That's right. I was raised up in Arkansas, and the town I went to a lot was Monette, Monette, and you got it, Monette, Missouri.
Okay. And my grandmother is from Mark Tree, Arkansas.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's south of let's see. Anyway, it's not too far from Jonesboro.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know how I know that my grandfather was born in Missouri and not in Arkansas?
No.
He was born in the back of his house.
Oh.
If he was born in the front of his house, he'd have been born in Arkansas.
Oh, you mean the state line went through the house?
That's what my family tells me.
Well, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about growing up. What was it like for you as a child?
Well, we were raised very poor, and like I've told different ones, was as happy as we had $1 million. And I just saying the other day, I don't believe I ever remember getting a Christmas present.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's something.
Yes.
So did you have brothers and sisters?
We entertained ourselves by homemade stuff.
Okay. All right. And how many brothers and sisters did you have?
Well, at that time, I just had the one brother, Lowell. He celebrated he signed that logbook that I've signed that's going all over the world. He signed it this past Friday. Lowell will be 98 this 1st of September.
So you guys are
go ahead. He's born in Malden, Missouri, too.
Okay. So you guys are pretty close in age.
Yeah. About 2 years and 5 months. I am older than he is. Yes. He served in the occupation of Japan, and he enlisted in the Army Air Force in December of 1945, and they had a cutoff date in 46 or 47, I think, and he's counted as a World War II vet. But I enlisted in 1943.
Okay. Now, growing up, did you have the opportunity to go to school?
No, this grade school was about 3 miles away, dirt road, 3 miles one way, 6 miles there and back.
You walked every day?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And what was that? Do you recall what that was like?
Pardon me?
I say, do you recall what that was like, what going to school was like?
Well, I enjoyed it. We walked along with other kids.
Uh-huh.
Laugh and talk with your playmates.
Yeah. Was there a lot of kids at your school?
Well, it's a 3-wing schoolhouse. I think there were. I believe each room had about 2 grades. I think the one room before you went into 8th grade, I think it was fourth, let's see, third, fourth, and fifth. I think the 6th and 8th you went into, that's the last room.
Okay. So you went up through the 8th grade then?
Yeah, well, actually, I didn't get a diploma in 8th grade, but well, it was on my record enough that I passed by was around enough other people that I knew everything.
Okay. So you after you got done with grade school, what did you do?
Oh, I was on the farm. Yeah, we had 2 seasons. You had a cotton chopping season, you had cotton picking time, and that's how we made our living.
That's some hard work, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah. When I went in service, I was getting $1 a day.
Oh my gosh!
Mm-hmm.
And it's hot during that time.
Well, yeah, it can be. Yeah.
Yeah. So
July when they're laying by the crop shots, it's gonna be hot, and you start picking cotton. And I think in September. It's been so long since I've been on the farm. Yeah.
So you did that for a number of years, then?
Oh yeah, up to one. Enlisted, went in service. The first electric license left under when I went in service. The first shower under pressure when I went in service. The first train rider was the one went in service. You just keep counting.
Yeah, a lot of firsts for you.
Pardon me? I
say that was a lot of firsts for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you where'd you go to basic training at?
Well, I took my went to Camp Prairie, put boot training in Camp Prairie, Virginia, and came from there back to Gulfport, Mississippi, and took my advance. And when the advanced training was over, went to go overseas, went back to Norfolk, Virginia, and went through the Panama Canal and out in the South Pacific and the Pearl Harbor. But Pearl Harbor back then, a lot of them might not know it, was not a state.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
So were you at Pearl Harbor then when the attack happened?
No, I was too young. I was on like 16 and a half.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That happened December 7th, 1941. And this from there till 42 just very short.
Okay. And you so how did you come about being a CB?
Well, a couple of friends of mine that lived in Monette, which I got acquainted with them. They said they was joining the Seabees and they wanted to be done. We all 3 joined. They called us the Arkansas Travelers. And one of them was 1 day older man, one was 2, and we were born the same year and the same month. We didn't know it. We got into the Seabees together, and we stayed together all the time.
Yeah. Now, when you got done with your advanced training and you went overseas, where did you go?
Went to Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
And there about 7 months. But this Pearl Harbor, they just got through raising Oklahoma. It's in such a bad shape they took it out and sunk it. And Arizona, I went around, did a lot of time going over to Fort Allen to work. Just the superstructure sticking up out of the water. And if you ever been there, right up from Pearl Harbor is Red Hill. You see a sign out on the highway there. That's where our camp was.
Okay. What kinds of things did you do there in Pearl?
Well, one of the things was on what's called the Banana Project. I think I'm pronouncing it right. And we built warehouses. It was all metal except the wood. The frame was wood. It was like 40 to 100. Anyway, they didn't have electric in it or concrete floors because they only put stuff in there that didn't have to be refrigerated, like coffee, sugar, flour, and stuff like that.
All the dry storage, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And how long? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say in that area now it's what I think is a big Kmart store.
It's what? I'm sorry.
Kmart shopping center in that area now, but they still got some warehouses, I think there.
Yeah, probably some of them that you built.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, how long were you at Pearl?
7 months.
Okay. And then where'd you go from there?
Well, got on a ship, went from there, started out, got out to Perry Island in the Marshalls, and then it was invading the Philippines. We had to sit in the harbor in that hot sun for 12 days, waiting on the escort going into Saipan. And we just got not too far out from Perry Island. Our ship played out, and the Jap sub was trying to get us. And anyway, the shore escort circled around us, located the sub, and went to drop an ash cans on it. You know what? You heard them say, ash cans, they can settle when it go down so far, then they go off.
Oh yeah, the depth charges, I think, is what they call them.
Yeah, depth charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Fantail, the ship, watched the Navy ship unload them on the submarine. They said they got it, but they play tricks.
Right. And then, so how long were you in? So you eventually went into the Philippines then?
No, I didn't go. We had guys in our outfit that did go to the Philippines. I can backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
It was at Pearl Harbor. They found out that they could put flamethrowers on tanks. So people in my company and got the okay from DC to put flamethrowers on tanks. And I don't have any tanks that they put flamethrowers on. But we had three guys in my outfit. I could name two of them that went for instructors to show them how to use the flamethrowers in the Philippines. And when it retook, they came back to our outfit in Saipan.
Okay. All right. And then, so how long were you there in
I was in
Saipan?
Saipan 13 months.
Okay.
And the Enola Gay, if you know anything about history at all, I was on Saipan. The Enola Gay took off from Pennies, which was separated by water 3 miles. June, August 6:45. It's a military secret.
So you saw it take off then?
No. It's a military secret.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You know what the name of the airplane was?
Yeah.
Named after his mother, Enola Gay.
Oh, so I knew the name, but I didn't know it was named after his mother.
Yeah. His name was Tibbits, and mine is Tippit.
Oh. Did they ever get the two of you confused? No.
And go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to ask, what kinds of things did you do when you were in Saipan?
Oh, I was in pilot writing crew. And have to drive pollen for ships to tie up. I was also in the harbor working when the hospital ship came in from Iwo Jima with the wounded on there. So they left from there, a lot of them, because it was about 1,400 miles away. And we had the water towers built for them. We had hospitals built for them. And I know after we was there a while, we got set up with ice cream. I know when they came in, we rationed it and took ice cream to the wounded.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll bet they appreciated all of that.
Oh, they did. Yeah. I was 20 years old. I left there. November 22nd, 1945. And if you count it up, 1963 is when Kennedy was killed on the same day.
Oh.
And I also landed in San Pedro, California, December 7th, 1945. That was another historic day.
And so when you came back from Saipan, this is towards the end of the war then?
Oh, it was the end of the war. The war was over the 15th of August, 45.
Yeah. Yep. It took a while for a lot of guys to come home, though, didn't it?
Well, I think we traveled day and night. I think on that aircraft there, I think it was about 17 days coming back.
Uh-huh.
But some of them had rode a slow boat to China, which was I forget what ship you call that. That's one of the whole tanks and stuff like that.
Okay. So that's a real thing, slow boat to China.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So you
LST is what it was. LST.
Yeah, those were flat bottom boats, weren't they?
Yeah, they open up like I don't know, like in front of it, like a hinge open, and they're very, very slow. But they haul like tanks and things like that.
Right. They use them for landing.
Yeah, because they go up pretty close to land.
Yep, exactly. So you say you went through the Panama Canal on your way home?
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, what was that like?
Oh, it's real close on each side. Wasn't very much room, and like when you was going through, over on the left hand side was like a train track, and
Uh-huh.
they the very chain had, I don't know how it worked anyway. It, it was connected somewhere rather than a track to pull the ship through the Panama Canal. It had to be filled, had to fill up with water going over in the Pacific. It's gotten certain location, they shut locks on each end, I believe that was, and filled up the water would be same height in the Pacific when they open the gates for you to go out.
Yeah, so what some people might not know is that the whole purpose there is because one waterway is lower than the other waterway, and so you have to level. You can't just take a ship through and do that.
I know they load this. We took on coffee, and I know in bananas. I remember seeing them. There might have been sugar too. I'm not sure. It was about. Oh, I think we stayed overnight for a while, and after we got through the canal.
Well, tell me a little bit about what shipboard life was like for you.
Oh, what ship life, or what do you mean?
Yeah, what was it like to be on a ship?
Oh my God! The first 24 hours we was out, left Norfolk, Virginia. Oh my God, that ship had only been out for a shakedown. The number was PA 44, the flagship. Anyway, one of my buddies got so sick, he said, I wouldn't care if this SB sunk. But when I get sick, I would go top side and get that cool air, and during the winter so bad you couldn't even got swept off the ship. So we had all our equipment on there plus 1,000 people.
You know, I talked to a guy who was in World War II, and he said that when he got on the ship, they served him pickles and mustard, and that kept him from getting sick. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
Heard of that. That's something kind of new.
I don't know if it was true or not. He said it worked for him, though.
Yeah, I know. When it was rocking so bad, we go down to eat. We mostly eat soup. Had to stand up to eat, and all that. People just falling all over the place. When we got out in the Pacific, where it was so hot, I never. It wasn't all our air we got down the hole was what was pumped to us. Mm-hmm. And anyway, I got out in the Pacific and used my life jacket for a pillow, and then just slept in the rain. The rain felt good.
Yeah, because there wasn't air conditioning on the ships back then.
Only for officers.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I think I'm telling it right.
Yeah. So you, when you came home at the end of the war, where did you came into California then?
No, the ship. We went up on the flight deck the next morning and had built donuts for us. And had a sign on the brick building that said, "Welcome home, job well done."
How'd that feel?
Oh, good. I spent 2 birthdays over
there. Yeah. You were gone. So how many years total were you away
from? Active duty, I was in 2.5 years under FDR and Harry S. Truman, and reserves on 6 years during the Vietnam conflict of Johnson and Nixon.
Okay.
I served under 4 presidents.
So when you served in the reserves, did you still do sea duty or any of that stuff?
Oh yeah, I went to play. I went to get along 2 different places. Camp Pendleton once, 2 weeks each time. We went different places, and then Seabees. Worked out Lambert Field. We did things for schools and Boy Scouts and stuff like that.
Okay, a lot of like civil service type stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And you had people in Seabees who could do everything you could think of. All kinds of trade. We didn't go to no classroom. We trained under people that knew the job.
All right, which sometimes is a good way to learn it, right?
Pardon? Oh, yeah,
So,
that's the best way.
yeah.
I guess I was one of the youngest ones.
Yeah. So you were how old when you got out then? 20.
20, I was 20.
Yeah.
I've been 21 in May. I got out, I was discharged December 14th, 1945.
You weren't even old enough to drink the whole time you served.
No, no. Oh, and in fact, we had in the little town where I was raised, or went to a lot, Monette, Arkansas, which is about 6 miles out of town where I was raised. They had pool table, a pool hauler, and I wasn't even allowed to go in that. But when we came home on leave, the guy said, "Well, I'm going to let you guys play pool."
That's good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. You know, my granddad was a bootlegger back in the day, so he didn't care if you were 21.
I've heard my relatives tell a little bit about that.
Yeah,
Well, you had to do anything you could do to make a living.
that's the truth, and he did,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you did as well. So
yeah, it's terrible how people see. The generation I was in was bad, and the one way before me was terrible how I had to work.
right. Well, you were born just after the Depression, really, right?
Something like that. I know I've heard my mother she picked cotton for 35 cents a hundred, and my grandpa, I was around him about 10 years before he passed away, and he always some stories that he used to tell. Or he'd say that he and his father and his relatives met Jesse James Gay one time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing.
And my mother was raised, started out in Gorville, Illinois, and went from Gorville, Illinois to Oklahoma in a covered wagon.
Wow. Well, you just don't hear those stories anymore.
And another thing I wanted to say, I was raised in a log house. Not a cabin, a log house. A lot of people says cabin, but I think cabin means is a little bit different than a log house.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was like a house. It wasn't just a small, right?
It was all cypress logs, and the bark didn't peel off of them. And there wasn't no electrical stuff. They did everything with a crosscut saw, hand saw, and chopping axe.
Yep. And you didn't use nails either, did you?
Oh yeah, they put the roof on.
Okay.
Everything the roof was logs that had been buried in the ground. You dug dirt out from around them. It's been buried in the ground for years and years. And I guess some of it was 3 foot, over 3 foot through. You saw them off the length. The boards needed to be. You split homemade boards, and that's what went on the roof. I know. I was just 10 years old. I was having to carry the board from where they split them at to go on the roof.
So you spent your whole growing up time working hard.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I started making a hand in the field at 11 years old.
Gosh. Which probably helped you stay healthy even now.
Yeah, well, yeah, nobody had any electric, and started getting electric after I come home from service. And we didn't. And the food my mother cooked no more than we had to eat it that day. And then in the summertime, when it got real warm, as I was picking cotton, they had ice trucks from different little towns that delivered ice. And I think they brought ice. Not every other day, they could get 20 pounds of ice for 20 cents. And we had no refrigerator. I had to put the ice on the porch to cover it up with no wore out quilt. And the ice was only for your tea.
Oh.
Iced tea. We drink iced tea out of quart fruit jars.
So you were saying that the ice was 40 cents for 25 or for
20 cents for 20 pounds.
Okay.
Not like that.
Yeah. So your mom had to pick 100 of cotton almost to pay for ice for a day.
Well, yeah. My mother didn't come to the fields, and she got everything took care of. We had like 3 milk cows, and either 1 or 2 of them giving milk all the time, and she always did those chores. And I didn't have her to say, get out here, come out here and help me milk the cows. I helped her a lot, because she used to say to me, just a kitten. I know she used to say, us two boys, she said she had a nickel. She wouldn't divide it between them. And she used to say that the girls could have my brother, but couldn't have me.
Wow. Wow. So let's talk a little bit about what happened. So you served in the reserves. You did your service. So what did you do once you left the military?
Well, I came to, well, at first, when I came home and service, I was in Arkansas just a short time. I know President Truman was the first president I got voted for, because that old I had to be 21. And I went to California just a short time. And the people out there I got to working with in skilled trades. And I know I first started out at a place where I was working building a rock crusher. And anyway, time came to join the labor union. And the people I was working with said, no, said, you're not joining the labor union. Said, you're going to be in skilled trades. I liked it real well. So I got in skilled trades. Just worked at that a short time. We was building a rock crusher. I got finished. I came back to Arkansas and just stayed a short time. Came to St. Louis and went to work at Fisher Body in 1960, 1949. My son was born December 11th, 1948.
Okay, so you got married then in there in between all that.
Well, I was married. I got married. Got home the 14th of December. The girl I married, we knew each other. We wrote to each other all the time. I was in service. We got married the 27th of December. And guess what was how I got on tell the story. We stopped on Dirt Road Court, I guess you'd call it. And anyway, she was both real quiet. And she just up and said, so the penny for your thoughts. I said, would you marry me? She said, yes.
Did you get your penny?
Pardon?
I say, did you get your penny?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. Anyway, we was married 37 and a half years. And
wow.
The girl that you talked to, my wife, I lost her. And December, let's see, July 1984. Yeah, 84, I think it was. She tried to go through the whole Fort Heart surgery at the Mayo Clinic, and she didn't make it. We had two here at Barn and two at the Mayo Clinic, Rochester, Minnesota. Then I married, run into Barn's mother later, and well, I can tell you a story about her. Her and my first wife's birthday was one day apart. But Louise, my first wife, got 2 years older. But I'll say I was married to two good ones.
Yeah.
I was married to Lord's mother 35 years. She's married now. We're just married.
So you have a total of almost 70 years of being married.
That's right.
That's a pretty good record.
Yeah. And like I told different ones, that's something I never did believe in. Beating up on your wife. I never did hit either one of them.
Yeah. Well, probably one of the reasons you stayed together so long.
That's right. Yeah. I know one time, Barb's mother was sitting on the couch, and I was standing in the doorway, and I asked her to be doing this because I wanted to hear what she had to say. I said, "Are you mad at?" Because I knew she was real sick. She said, "No." I said, "I couldn't be mad at you." She said, "You're too good to me."
Let's take a quick break.
Hey, listeners, we need your help to keep the Veterans Archives podcast going. We're a nonprofit dedicated to preserving the stories of our nation's heroes, and we provide this service completely free to veterans. Your support helps us record, share, and archive these incredible stories so future generations never forget the sacrifices made for our freedom. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. Visit veteransarchives.org to contribute today. Help us honor their service by ensuring their voices are heard. And thank you for your support, and thank you to all the veterans who have served our country. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. Now, did you have children?
Oh yeah, one son, and I've lost him the first of October 24.
Oh,
He
okay.
he was 67.
What's it? I'm just curious. What's it like to watch your children kind of grow old with you? That's
Yeah. Well, my first wife had the rheumatic fever when she was 11 years old. And the doctors I had then wasn't anymore veterinary. Now, veterinary knows more about
yeah.
human back than they did back then. Anyway, so they thought she was just having chills. And when he was born, it came back on her and said, us not having more kids. And
Okay.
I had 3 years before he was born. Another thing, my cousin, his wife, got married that day. I didn't really know it. And my wife and I got married that night. And they were on my marriage license. Signed my marriage license. 4 of us are plus a preacher. You know what it costs for to get married?
Well, how much?
$3.
Wow, that's cheap. better stay married because it doesn't get any cheaper.
Yeah, I had 2 good ones. I mean, they were good people. They both had uh, they're both good workers, good cooks, everything you can think of. They've had just a whole lot of life.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about your son. What kind of work did he do?
Well, my son graduated from the Academy of Fine Arts in Overton Park, Memphis, Tennessee, and he is a photographer of trade. He done lots of silk screening. I know you've probably heard of Winfield, Kansas, state capital of the world, where they play music.
Yeah.
He went there almost 50 years. And he had 2 brain surgeries, I think 4 and 5 years ago. And I don't know exactly. He took sick. He's well educated and very, very, very smart. And he just went downhill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You must have been proud of him, though.
And he wasn't no alcoholic or smoker.
Yeah.
That's something that's something that didn't bother me.
And then, so when you married Barb's mom, she already had Barb then?
Oh yeah, Barb was 29.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess if you do the math.
Yeah. She had 3 girls, and Martin Sue was at the wedding, and the wedding was in her backyard, real close here from where we're at right now. And I think we had about 80 people there, and we had a 5-piece band. And my son knew a lot about music, was in music with other people, and he and Barb got the band together. We had a 5-piece band. It was about 80 people there for a wedding. It was outside in our backyard.
That sounds really nice.
It was.
Now, how did you meet Barb, or how did you meet Barb's mom?
Well, I worked with a guy at the Pittsburgh Body. It was a room in her basement, and he told her about me. And my wife just been dead, like a year and a half or so. I know different ones. Oh, you took too early. I said, well, you see a nice lady like Mary was. You fool around and you let them get away, you're going to be sorry.
Yeah.
And anyway, he told her about me. I guess she was interested in me. Believe it or not, she came to see me.
Oh, that's something.
And when we got married, I knew we was going to get married. I said, Mary, I'm going to let you ask me to get married. She did.
Oh, she might as well. She came to see you first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sure did.
Yeah. So how long did you work at Fisher Body?
31 and a half years.
Okay. So you retired.
Fisher and Chevrolet went together. 71 or 72. I'm not real sure.
But that's you.
Go ahead. The new plant, they just opened it up when I retired.
Okay.
Wentzville.
So you pretty much worked there the whole time after you got out of the service, then, right up to your retirement.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. What kind of stuff did you do there?
I was millwright. I have worked with a lot of steel, and have built conveyors, conveyors and different things that we was asked to do.
Okay.
But we had a good union. We didn't have general maintenance. I think general maintenance had got down all the plants. But before I was at Mill, Millwright did his work. Piper did his work. Electrician did his work. But the welder was neutral because they could call on the welder to work within the trades.
Oh, so you didn't have to worry about it if you needed a welder then.
No, this your trade.
Yeah. So you retired in the 1990s?
Hard December 31st, 1982.
Okay. Wow. And so you've been retired for 43 years then.
Something like that. You got it up.
But you're
43. I've been telling everybody 42.
So you've really kind of lived 3 lifetimes.
Yeah. I know we went through HEWL on some of the things we had to go through before we got a good union. I was just thrilled to death at State Will because I got a union pension out of this world.
And that's nice.
A hospitalization pension out of this world.
Yeah. My dad was a member of the United Auto Workers. So
was a what?
He was a member of the UAW, United Auto Workers.
Good. From Detroit or where?
Out of Lansing, Michigan, actually.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. So always had a roof over our head, and he got a great pension.
I know you probably heard me speak of Walter Reuther a lot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I know Walter Reuther said, when it started the union, he's going to try to get hospitalization for us from cradle to grave. They almost made it.
Yeah. Well, you think about it, so here in Michigan, at the museum right here in my town, there's a whole section of the museum that talks about the unions, and there's pictures of the unions. Yep.
Well, I tell you right now, people really don't realize it. If it wasn't for unions, retirement, Social Security, and different things like that, you would be drawing it.
Right. Right.
A lot of people, you got people. When I was out 30 years ago, some of the new people come in and seen pictures of how things were, and said, "Oh, was it really this bad?" I said, "Yes, and worse."
Yeah, because the unions really the unions started because of safety. Yep, they started because of safety, and the conditions.
Well, when Fisher Body, when they had that strike, and all the women brought food to their husbands, and they stayed in the plant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They have come out like that.
Well, and before the unions became a force, there were fights that actually went on with the security guys.
Walter Reuther, I guess, been hit over the head with a billy club more than once. There's a picture of him at the museum here, and they have actually one of his shirts that has his blood all over it from one of the fights he got in. Yeah, I remember my old union from Fisher Body, the local plant, the one I go to where the new plant is 2250.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I was out there, and they honored me of my retirement, and the mayor out there gave me a plaque.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any stuff I've got enough stuff I could write a book.
You should. For sure. So is there anything that you haven't talked about that you'd like to talk about today?
No, one of the things that's always said is do unto others like you've done yourself.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's one of the questions I always ask is, what would you like to, when someone's watching this 100 years from now and we're both not here, what would you like them to take away from how you lived your life?
Well, I like to just think about what we went through to make things like they are now.
Yeah, truly the greatest generation.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed working at GM. I served the death. I got the skilled trades.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Louis, I appreciate you taking time out today to talk mm-hmm. with me. And I hope to talk to you again soon.
Well, I was going to tell you, Barb was supposed to be taking me, her and another person taking me to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which will be somewhere around the last of October for a military reunion.
Oh,
Yeah, I was there. I've been to about 2 Gulfport, Mississippi, as old World War II vet there, and also been to Pigeon Forge, oldest one. And I think year before last, I'm just trying to think back. They gave me a Navy quilt. I gave it to Barb.
well, you're pretty popular from what I understand. A lot of people want to talk to you.
Yeah, I've heard that. In fact, me talking to you today, I didn't know about it until Barb told me going to the dentist.
Oh. Well, she had reached out to me and we finally connected. And I said, "Hey, let's do this. Let's get this done." So, well, very good.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lady at I'm a member of American Legion. I've done American Legion for 36 years. I think veteran of World War I. Played American Legion. All the things that she got upset about me and was the MC at my birthday party. My birthday party was something else. I'll tell you. At the lodge where I'm a member of Masonic Lodge, and they let us have the building for my birthday party.
That's quite a memory for you, huh?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I've been a Mason. They gave me my 65th year pin when I was there.
Well, that's a long time.
Yeah,
they probably don't give out a lot of the 65-year pins, do they?
Yeah, I had three ladies I was supposed to ask to come up and pin on me. Barb, my sister, my daughter-in-law, and a lady nurse that I know real well. I asked them to come up and pin the pin on me. They did. And the Navy had participated in it. They was our military was. And also, I was a square dance for about 20-some years. And the square dance caller came from, let's see, I think it was South Dakota. It might be north, I think it was south. He came all the way here, flew in to give me a fight.
Well, 100 years, that's a milestone for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Veterans Archives podcast. We truly appreciate you taking the time to listen and honor the incredible stories of our nation's heroes. Don't forget, you can catch us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wreaths Across America Radio, or stream past episodes anytime on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and as I've said before, any place you can find a podcast, you can find the Veterans Archives podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share our content on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and across all social media. Every share helps us reach more people and preserve more stories. The Veterans Archives podcast is a nonprofit initiative, and our mission is simple: to give veterans a voice and ensure their stories are never forgotten. This service is completely free for veterans because their sacrifices deserve to be recognized and remembered. You want to help? Follow us, spread the word, and if you know a veteran with a story to tell, send them our way. Visit us at veteransarchives.org to learn more about how you can get involved. Thanks again for tuning in, and most importantly, thank you to all the veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice. Until next time, take care, and we will see you on the next episode of the Veterans Archives podcast.